By the way, don't be expecting a whole bunch of florals from me in this video. I should point that out right now. Hi guys, it's Odom. How is everyone doing? Good, I hope. I'm doing the obligatory 10 spring fragrances. Spring is trying to be sprunged in England, but we're not doing very well. I mean, we are in the later part of March now, and we had snow just 2 days ago. WTF. But yay! I mean, when the seasons turn, it's always nice to do a video about things that I'm kind of looking forward to wearing, although given 90% of my collection is more suited to winter, but who cares? There are some things that I own in this video, there are some things that I have samples of and will be wearing, and there are some things that I don't have, but have smelled and have my beady little eyes on for when it does eventually decide to stop snowing up in this. So, without further ado, the first one I'm looking forward to wearing is one that I got, most of these I got in winter actually, and now it's finally going to be time to wear them, and it's this. It's Alien Eau Extraordinaire by Terry Mugler. This to me is the spring version of Alien. I think it might have even been designed to be like that. They've taken out the jasmine out of the middle and replaced it with tiare flower. It's got a lot more citruses in it, it's got some tea in it. So it's a really nice version of Alien that I will be looking forward to wearing when spring comes around and lavishing myself with, because I did get the big one of it. So it's definitely a spring version of Alien. Oh, it's so nice. It's kind of Earl Grey, like bergamot tea. I said that in my review, or I didn't say that and someone pointed it out, which was quite rightly so. Yeah, kind of like an Earl Grey thing with tiare flower and some goodness, but still with the kind of feeling of Alien, just much brighter. So that's the first one on my list. The next one is this little cutie pie. It's called Mito by Vero Profumo. It's not something that I own, but I do have samples of it, and oh my gosh, it's so cool. So this fragrance features tuberose, it features champaca, but it really is centred around galbanum. It's the Eau de Parfum version that I'm talking about, because it does come in a voile d'extrait as well, but it's a different composition. This one is really heavy on the galbanum, which I think is amazing for spring. Galbanum, if you don't know what that is a really nice resin that comes from a plant that smells like stems, and it's a little bit kind of vegetal. It's very green smelling. I don't believe in only wearing florals in spring. There are other things you can wear, believe me, and you will see them in this video. So yes, Mito Eau de Parfum by Vero Profumo. Champaca, tuberose, jasmine, but lots of greenery, leaves. It's kind of like spring morning dewiness going on, and it's really freaking cool. So I'll be wearing that in spring for sure. The next one is a fragrance I've had for nearly 3 or 4 years, but rarely wear it, and it was a gift, I need to wear it, and it's perfect for spring. It is Pure Poison by Christian Dior. Yes, it's a floral, but yes, it is definitely a spring-like floral. It's got a slight powdery edge. It reminds me of scented tissues. I've always said that, I don't know why. It's like a soft scented tissue, billowy curtain type sort of fragrance. It's not really heavy, but still heavy enough that, because spring can be really cold in England. I don't know about where you guys live, but there can be some really chilly days, even though it's bright, kind of like today, actually. So Pure Poison is going on my list. The next one is a fragrance that I don't own, but I have my beady eyes on it again. It is in my sight line to buy for spring, and it's by Fidon, or Fedon, or however you want to pronounce that name, I'm not sure. I think it's Fedon, and it's called Eau de Simple Concombre. And it is just that. It's a very simple composition. It basically features musk, freesia, and cucumber. So it's not really that floral. It is a lovely watery cucumbery fragrance, and I know cucumber is a bit of a dodgy thing for a lot of people. I know people that actually think it's vile, especially in fragrances, but this is done really nicely. The musk and the freesia complement it really well, and it makes you feel clean and refreshed. And again, it's not really floral, so that's why I want to do it. I always try and think of things that aren't floral for spring and aren't citrus for summer. That's just how I roll. The next one is a fragrance that I am so desperate to get in my collection, given I don't really own a lot of fragrances that suit warmer weather, so I've been trying to find things that I can grab and actually have something that I think suits the weather more, even though I don't really follow rules, but I want to sometimes. So it is Falling Into the Sea by Imaginary Authors. Really big fan of this brand. I think this one is probably my favourite of the brand alongside the Soft Lawn, but this one is gorgeous. It's essentially a citrus fragrance, but it's a citrus fragrance with a twist because it has tropical flowers in it. It has a very salty, aquatic feeling. They've got this fantasy note of warm sand in it. I think I'll be reviewing it really soon in full actually, but this one is so gorgeous because it's a citrus of a different colour, and I really, really like it for that reason. It's crazy how you can have a salty feeling or a beachy sort of feeling in a fragrance. I think it would suit summer as well, but definitely when the weather turns, when it gets a bit warmer, Falling Into the Sea. I don't live near the sea, so I have to take what I can get in that respect. The next one is a fragrance that is coming my way. I will have it in my grasp really soon, and it is Nightingale by Zoologist. This one I know for a fact does not suit me. I know that it's too ultra feminine for me. Do I care? No. This fragrance was themed around springtime in Japan, and yes, it is a floral, but again, it's a floral with a twist. It's a fragrance with a twist. It features notes of plum blossom, violet and rose, but in the heart you have frankincense, myrrh and oud. So it's a really potent fragrance that I usually overspray all the time. Oops. But man alive, is it gorgeous. It's just, I don't really care how feminine it is. It smells so amazing that I have to have it. It's really like a powder bomb. It's a little bit kind of boudoir-like. It feels a little bit like a powder puff, but a very intense powder puff. And yeah, it was themed around spring, like I said, so therefore it fits into my category, and therefore it gives me an excuse to buy it. Yay! The next one is another fragrance that is actually on its way to me as well. I had a sample recently, I tried it, I loved it, I want it. That's just how it goes. And it is Flowerhead by Byredo. This one is probably the most typically spring-like of the fragrances that are on my list, and although it's a typical white spring floral, there are some elements of it that I find quite weird. It almost has this sour, fruity, juicy thing going on in the core that is a little bit off-putting, and that's why I like it. It's got an edge. I feel like once I get my bottle, it's one of those ones that could be entirely too aggressive, but it definitely fits spring perfectly. It's a cool white floral. I'm always looking to add white florals to my collection. This one is a springtime one. It's not an in-your-face kind of tuberose. It's light enough, so that's why it's on my list. Next! The next one on my list is this one. It's Eau de Simple by Hermes. I haven't really worn this since I got it. I got it in winter, so I haven't really worn it in warmer weather. And while this fragrance really does sometimes feel a bit Christmassy because it's a very spicy fragrance, it's pepper and it's got kind of piney fir notes in it, there's a lot of orange. So this fragrance to me is definitely bright enough to wear in spring, and I think it's going to be amazing. I'm going to spray it on my hand now actually. I feel like this could be spring evening. Even though it's peppery, that doesn't bother me. Pepper isn't always in dark fragrances, and that's what I like. It almost feels like white pepper to me in this one, as opposed to black. So, phone ringing as usual. Always throws me off track. Happens to me pretty much every video. Besides the point. Anyway, Eau de Simple by Hermes. I'll be wearing this in spring. Yummers. The next one is another fragrance that I shall be getting in my collection eventually before spring summer is out, and it's one of the newer ones by État Libre d'Orange, and it's called You or Someone Like You. This fragrance is so cool because I feel like it's very spring summer. It features 5 types of mint, surprisingly enough, and violet leaves, and what it does is it's actually completely changed my opinion on mint in fragrances, because I've never really liked mint at all in fragrances. But when it's in such abundance and it's not chewing gummy, this is a very leafy, minty fragrance. You can really it's almost like a tangible mint leaf has been crushed into your fingers, with some violet leaves as well. So it's a really nice, different take on a fresh fragrance for warmer weather that isn't a floral at all. And last but not least is one of my newest things that I've got recently. Obviously I got it recently if it's new. I wouldn't know if it's my newest thing that I got ages ago. It's the newest thing in my collection. It is Junkie by Jardins d'Écrivain. Oh my gosh, this fragrance is so cool. I wore it for the first time from my bottle the other day, but I have worn it before. Oh, this is something special. It features mainly the note of Indian hemp. Yes, I'm talking about cannabis or whatever, sativa, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, I don't smoke that stuff. But this is really fresh, really clean, really green. It has some jasmine and iris in the heart, completely unisex. It feels kind of like a step out of the shower and stepping into a cannabis plantation. I don't know. Not really, it doesn't really smell like that. It actually has a really bright feeling to it, and I don't know where it comes from, because it's got florals in it and it has this hemp and everything, but the overall feeling of this is something super clean and interesting, and it's so unique. I have never smelled a fragrance like this before. It was something that when I immediately smelled it, I knew that I wanted to get it and I couldn't stop thinking about it. One of those kind of ones that just get in your brain, get out of my brain. But yeah, now it's in my brain and I absolutely love it. I'm actually going to wear it today. As soon as I'm ending the video on that. Oh, there's some woods in here, but it's kind of, everything is bright and good in the world. Just like spring. Anyway guys, that's my 10 fragrances that I'm going to be looking forward to this spring once it actually arrives. What are you going to be wearing this spring? I was really overexcited in this video, and who cares? Anyway, I'm Attribution, hit my logo down there to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon for another video. Goodbye.